Liverpool may soon be preparing for life without their talisman. With uncertainty continuing to surround Mohammed Salah's long-term future at Anfield given his age, fresh transfer rumours have linked the club with a potential successor. The latest report suggests the Reds are already exploring options to fill the void for when their Egyptian king steps down, and one name in particular has emerged as a possible replacement. Let's break this down in today's video, along with all the other Liverpool news from the last 24 hours. There is so much to discuss in today's video, so be sure to like the video and subscribe to the channel for daily Liverpool content. But first, Quansa left for Bayer Leverkusen this summer in a deal worth £35 million, but future contract terms have already been agreed with the centre-back should his buyback clause be triggered. With game time under Arne Slot not guaranteed, the 22-year-old left permanently for Germany this summer, but Liverpool, as they do with their young players, inserted a buyback clause. It means a return in the future is possible should Liverpool trigger the clause, which is worth £52 million and active from 2027. Notably, the Mail's Lewis Steele reports that a pre-existing agreement is already in place with Quansa over the terms of a future contract, should the club decide to use their clause. Steele notes that Liverpool only sold him because it seemed like good money, and the Englishman wanted to play every week, and the changes forthcoming at centre-back could inevitably open the door for a return. If anything, it shows Liverpool's faith in Quansa's ability to continue his development in Germany, where he has started and played 90 minutes in all three of Leverkusen's opening games. The manager he signed for, Erik ten Hag, however, has already been sacked, as Leverkusen seek to bounce back from having key players and Xabi Alonso poached by clubs across Europe. With Virgil van Dijk closer to the end of his career, Ibrahima Konate out of contract next summer, and Joe Gomez not a regular, the centre-back ranks will need attention even with Giovanni Leone and an expected return for Mark Guehi. Liverpool will be watching Quansa closely in the months and years to come, as they will with Harvey Elliott and Ben Doak after buyback clauses were also inserted into their respective moves to Aston Villa and Bournemouth. While some will have questioned Liverpool sanctioning the above-mentioned transfers, the club have put themselves in a strong position to allow each to develop while having a future opportunity to see them return. It is not a common occurrence to trigger the clause, but it protects future interests while simultaneously offering what the club cannot in the short term. And that's consistent first-team minutes. Now in a huge Mohammed Salah replacement update, Bayern Munich's Michael Olise has been name-checked as a potential Mohammed Salah successor, with the 23-year-old one to keep an eye on for Liverpool. Salah signed a new contract to 2027 last season, but Liverpool's succession planning will already be at the forefront of their minds as the Egyptian averages 30 goals a season. The Reds' recruitment staff are known to have held interest in Olise, who now plies his trade for Bayern Munich after leaving Crystal Palace last summer for around £50 million. He was linked as long as 4 years ago when he was at Reading. And the Mail's Lewis Steele has stated that he cannot rule out Liverpool making a move next summer. Steele reports that the club want a long-term replacement for Salah in the next summer or two, and that the early noises are that Olise could be right at the top of their shopping list. There are no definitives from Steele, but it stands to reason that the 23-year-old will be watched closely this season. He is a skillful and dynamic winger who has 47 goals and 62 assists in his club career so far, and in 4 outings for Bayern Munich this season already has 4 goals to his name. The Frenchman's contract with the Bavarian side expires in 2029, but there have been suggestions of a release clause that can be triggered next summer, which would be attractive to Liverpool if true. After concerns over his injury record throughout 2022/23 and 2023/24, Olise went on to play 55 times for Bayern in his debut season for a total of 3,842 minutes. His record would have placed him 4th for the most minutes played at Liverpool last season, behind only Salah, 4,501, Virgil van Dijk, 4,437, and Ryan Gravenberch, 4,207. Although opting to represent France, Olise would be categorized as a homegrown player, a valuable asset for any Premier League club, following his development at Reading and Palace. He is a left-footed attacker who favours the right wing, much like Salah, and enjoys cutting inside, setting up his teammates and running at his direct opponent. In other news, Federico Chiesa has not been included in Liverpool's Champions League squad for the league phase of the competition. Given Chiesa's relatively strong start to the campaign in comparison to last season, his omission comes as a surprise. Despite coming off the bench in each of the Reds' first 3 Premier League games, the Italian has been left out of the league phase squad, with Rio Nomoha instead occupying one of the permitted 17 non-homegrown player slots. Nomoha, 17, will eventually qualify as a homegrown player but does not yet, thus taking up a non-homegrown slot. The reason why Chiesa has been omitted is quite complicated, but it seems to have ultimately boiled down to a choice between Nomoha and the more senior attacker. The list of players is as followed: goalkeepers Alisson, Mamardashvili and Woodman. Defenders Van Dijk, Konate, Gomez, Leone, Bradley, Kirkes, Robertson and Frimpong. Midfielders McAllister, Szoboszlai, Gravenberch-Jones, Endo and Wirtz. And for forwards we have Isak, Salah, Gakpo, Ekitike and Ngumoha. In the Champions League, where homegrown rules differ to the Premier League, clubs can submit a squad of up to 25 List A players and an unlimited of number List B players to UEFA. List A has 8 spaces reserved for homegrown or locally trained players, plus 17 spots for non-locally trained players. Liverpool have used their maximum quota of 17 without Chiesa involved. Jeremy Frimpong is eligible to be classed as homegrown due to him being association trained for more than 3 seasons by Man City in his youth. Ngumoha cannot be registered as a locally trained player, yet as under UEFA rules, he has not been a Liverpool player long enough, having only turned 17 years old last week. This means he is unable to be submitted in one of the 8 reserved spaces for locally trained or homegrown players on List A. The youngster is also not eligible for List B, which is exclusively for players born on or after January 1st, 2004, who have since their 15th birthday been eligible to play for the club concerned for any uninterrupted period of 2 years. There are some exceptions to the rule as outlined by UEFA here. While academy prospects such as Trey Nyoni and Jayden Danns are eligible for List B, Ngumoha is not so had to be named as one of Liverpool's 17 non-homegrown players on List A. Notably, Chiesa's compatriot Giovanni Leone has been included on List A, so will be able to feature if needed. Thankfully for Chiesa, his hopes of playing Champions League football this season aren't completely over because the squad can be updated following the completion of the league phase. But that is all for today's video. Thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed. If you did, please drop a like on the video and subscribe to the channel for daily Liverpool content. We post all the latest Liverpool news every day, so join our fast growing community so you never miss out. Thank you. I'll see you in the next video.